without all that baggage. Like, we better finish up because I think this phone finna cut off. Number 8. I regret the issues my mother and I had behind me being with Marcello. Oh my gosh. So, and I understand full circle now. I truly understand her. Back then I didn't. I was a 20-year-old woman, but basically a girl, but by age woman. And my mother only wanted what was best for me. And now that I have a 20-year-old daughter, I can completely understand why she did some of the things she did, why she felt the way she felt about Marcello. It wasn't really Marcello himself. It was the fact that my daughter was on this path, and now that she's here, and that's not what they wanted for me. They didn't want me to be buried in this situation. You always want your kids to do better than you. You want your kids to be happy. You want your kids, if you didn't have the best marriage, you want them to have the best marriage. And it seems like everything that my parents wanted for me, I kind of did the opposite. And I really, we went head to head all the time. We never agreed. We never agreed until one day she just realized that, hey, Kita's gonna do this. She's gonna be with him, and it's nothing I can do about it. And that's when it's kind of like we just didn't talk about it no more. We didn't talk anything about it. And later in her life, she tried to talk to me about Marcello, and I would quickly just cut her off like, that's a no-no subject. Like, I don't want to talk about that because I already knew her feelings about it. But I regret that. So we're going into number 8. No, that was number 8. So we're going into number 9. I regret that my mother died and I was still a prison wife. She died seeing me still a prison wife. And it's like I just wanted her to be proud of me. I wanted to make her proud. I feel like out of all my mother's children, it's like my life is the one child that can't quite get it together. Like, I lived up to every stereotype you can think. Single mother, um, single woman, never married, struggling. Like, and that's not how she raised us. And I don't know, I just always thought I would get it together one day. I always thought that he would come home, and we would just be together and everything would iron itself out. And my mother passed away unexpectedly, and she passed right before she died. I guess people know when they're about to leave this world, because she had this off the wall conversation with me, like, was crazy. And she would try to, like, when I go to church, I would go to Bible study, but I would drive my own car because I'm like, no, every time I try to ride with mom, she talks about Marcello, and I don't want to have that conversation. So I'll meet her at Bible study. And I don't know, one day I did ride with her, and she was like, Kita, when is Marcello coming home? And I always would get sarcastic. I'm like, Ma, I don't know. When Jesus come back. Whenever Jesus come back, I guess that's when Marcello's coming home. Like, because I didn't know how else to handle it. I handle life when things get hard jokes, with jokingly, that's how I just handle my pain. Um, I don't know, or else through art or whatever. But most times I make sarcastic jokes about it when it's something that hurts me. And she was like, no, Keita, like, for real, like, You said it was supposed to be 10 years. That's because I thought, he had that minimum mandatory, and that's what the freaking public defender explained, that it would only be 10 years. But clearly, girl, it's not. So she's like, um, your daughter's almost 16, like, and is anybody gonna help him? And she was like, his mother's not fighting for him. Nobody's fighting for him. Like, is anybody gonna do anything to get him home? And I was taken aback. I'm like, wow, like, she's really talking to me about this. Like, she really seemed concerned. And I swear, the week before she died, she told me she was talking about my little sister. Little sister. I'm 16 years older than her. She was saying, yeah, I guess I'm gonna have all my grandkids, because our daughter was turning 16. She was like, yeah, guess I'm gonna have all my grandkids from her, my sister, my little sister. And I was like, no, mom, it's not too late. I could still, if I can get Marcello home, we could still have kids. It's you know. And she was like, no, think I'm gonna have them all from my sister. And then she was like, Kita, I think she asked me, when was Marcello coming home? And I got into, I don't know, mom. The same, I'm about to give her the same spiel. And I was like, I already waited too long, because she was saying, how long are you going to wait? I was like, I already waited too long. And it's just been forever. I said, I need to be trying to figure out how to just leave. It's been too long. And she said, no, Kita, I think you're going to wait. You're going to wait to the end. And that was days before she passed. I think you're going to wait to the end. So I'm like, what's the end? Is the end him coming home, or is the end me fighting my whole life and then it's the end? Regrets, girl. Like, think about it before you continue this road, before you start this road or whatever. Because one thing you cannot do is you cannot turn back the hands of time. That is impossible. So we are to number 10. More like a question. Do I regret meeting Marcello? Girl, you already know. Had I not met Marcello, I would not be on this detrimental road. Most likely, I would have been married to whoever, to Joe Blue or whoever. I may have had 2, 3, 4 kids, because your girl wanted a whole big, huge family. Oh, that was my stomach rumbling. I could have possibly, not behind being a single mother, may have had that career. So I possibly would have had the things that I wanted out of life had I not met Marcello while he was on his way to prison. So do I regret that? I can honestly tell you, no. I love Marcello with every part of my heart, every depth of my heart, with every ounce of my being. Marcello is my soulmate. So though I have been drugged through the mud behind this, I have given up dreams behind this, I have given up so much behind this, I don't regret meeting Marcello. Because the day that I met Marcello, I met the man that was meant for me. I met true love. With that, I guess, hiss your girl Cadillac.